Yo, on YouTube, I put up a poll asking if you guys wanted to see a more behind the scenes look at how I make videos, looking at the edits, how I script out certain things, and me just talking about them in general. We're starting off with the Sonic Untimely review because one, I don't think enough people watched it, but also it has some of my favorite edits. This won't be a full tutorial or anything because I really don't want to do that, but if you guys want it to be a little bit more in depth for the next time, let me know. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below and I will answer them, or I'll just answer them in a video. We'll see. So this is how I made the Sonic Untimely review. Okay, so obviously we're gonna start with the intro. The really funny thing about this particular intro is that it took a month to do. Now, it didn't take a month to edit because I don't think anything I've ever done would actually take that long. But the issue was I had no idea what I was gonna do with it. The only thing that I knew that I was gonna put in there was the Olive Garden, because they make that joke a couple times in the movie, but like actually contextualizing it and putting it in the video, I didn't know what I was gonna do. Usually I have some type of idea while I watch the movie, like, oh, this could be a funny intro. Like with the Scott Pilgrim one, I knew what I was gonna do before I even watched the movie because I'd seen that clip before. And I was like, oh, that's easy. Like that'll be just a fun, he jumps in the window or whatever. This one, I had no idea what I was gonna do. And it wasn't until like maybe 2 weeks after I'd like recorded everything that I was like, oh, what was that Sonic thing where he's like watching TV? Like what was this part? And I couldn't remember it. You can't just Google Sonic watching TV because that's not gonna come up. But I have a friend who's like just way more knowledgeable about Sonic than I am. He told me what it was. Tried to find some footage on YouTube, but everybody wants to put their face on everything, like me. So I couldn't do that, so I had to download the game. Thank God it was free, which was actually cool because I was able to, you know, get the shots that I wanted. This, like the things that are on screen, those are all like little jokes that I wanted to include in like the video in some type of way that were Sonic related, but like I didn't know how to put it in the actual video itself, so I just put them in here. The first one is what is the title? It's very long. A short Sonic the Hedgehog film that explores loneliness, dread, and the horrors of youth. It's very good, actually. You should definitely check that out. It's like under 10 minutes. Like it's not long at all. It's very good, very upsetting. This one, if you didn't know, Michael Jackson actually created music for Sonic 3, and I want to say his shoes, like Sonic shoes, were like modeled after Michael Jackson in some type of way. I don't remember like the story, but I know for a fact he made music for Sonic 3, so I had to put Michael in here for that reason. This is just one of my favorite Sonic memes. It's from Snapcube's fan dub of SA2. What else? Oh yeah, like these are just I think these are separate clips. Well, let me see. Also, I rendered this out twice. That's really funny. So one of the biggest reasons why these videos take me so long, they probably won't take me as long going forward because I don't have to do this as much. But prior to me getting a new graphics card, I would have to edit this. Like I would have to be like, okay, let me match it up how I think it'll go. But then I would have to render this out, like render pretty much this entire thing out just to see if it actually fits. And sometimes it wouldn't. So I would keep doing that. And it would be for like this is from 13 to 19. So for only 6 seconds of the video, I would have to like render it out, see how it works, and then put stuff back together because I'd always put like a bunch of stuff. Even with these, you can see how these are like compound clips. And like compound clips on top of compound clips, and it's just so much. Oh yeah, you could see like I actually forgot about this. The really crazy thing about this game, because it's a VR game, I don't know if this is how it'll look for like everything else, but I couldn't like render it, like I couldn't record it properly, and that's why you can see like the OBS. There's nothing here, right? I mean, if it is, I'm gonna cut it out. You're not gonna see it, so it doesn't matter. But the OBS like part was like still there, but I had to play the game like this, and it was really weird. But yeah, like that's just one of the things of like why things take so long. Like, why is this even a compound clip? I don't even know, but I know that I had to do it for whatever reason. and then I would make it all a singular compound clip and then render all that out. That's why even right now, I know that this is a really powerful graphics card, but I don't know if it could handle me recording, the camera input, and this full video. So like I'm just gonna open up like certain parts of this. When it comes to like these edits, like the lightning, the screen cracking and stuff, like I think that's cool. Oh my god, like I think that's cool, but I don't really see that as like all that interesting, if you get what I mean. I also don't actually really like how this like intro like ends. I just feel like it's kind of abrupt, and like I was going for the lightning, obviously, of Sonic, like he's the one breaking the TV screen, like he's coming through or whatever, but like something about it just feels off to me. I don't know. I'm also just really nitpicky about like the videos that I make, since realistically I'm making them for myself, so I just really want them to be as good as possible. The intro actually had a different song. Do I still have it? Oh yeah, so like the intro is actually a little bit different, where it just it transitioned like this. Like the whole thing was like the TV, instead of it like I'll just play it so you can see. See, that's crazy. Like even this like doesn't render out properly, but like it was just gonna go into that, and then from there, which you could still see me do that kind of transition, but then it's me. We can talk about this, because this was also really annoying, because my green screen isn't good. Even in like the intro for this video, you could probably see that like it was not very good. That I'm using NVIDIA's, what the fuck is this thing called? NVIDIA Broadcast. So I'm using that for this particular video, but for this one you can't, because you can only use it when you're like actually recording something. But what made this really difficult was how unflattering. I mean, that's not much better. But even when you do that, like the reason why this is here is because the green in his eyes also got taken away, and I didn't know how to fix that. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna overlay this on the shirt, and that's how that came about. See, now this is gonna really bother me if I look back at like the uploaded version and it has this black in there. Hold on. And the crazy thing is, like, this is something that would happen too, where, why is that happening?
2 very boring minutes later.
We're gonna look at it together, because if it's like that, that's gonna really bother me. Oh, okay, no, this is no, it's after. Okay, where is this? Okay, so see how in the rendered out version, that like it's fine, it's okay, but here I don't even know what happened. Now it's just black and it looks bad. Oh my god, that's so upsetting. Okay, well, again, this is why things take so long. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know what I'm doing like 90% of the time. This is all me just being like, yo, I think this would be cool, let me put it in there. And sometimes it works, sometimes it works and then doesn't work, like this for some reason. And a lot of times it doesn't work and I just cut it out, because I don't want to spend 3 days trying to figure something out. Oh, we could talk about cards, because I've never talked about cards before. So when did this start? This started in like the Osmosis Jones review. Yeah. So it started in the Osmosis Jones review, and it came about because I wanted to do something that was different. And ever since I actually started like making YouTube videos, I stopped watching a lot of like review channels, just because I didn't want there to be an overlap in like styles, because I know that even if I don't try to, there's gonna be times where like I'm taking in other people's stuff, and I really didn't want to do that in this instance, because then like what's the point of you watching me over somebody else? And thinking back, I noticed that nobody really like nobody does like and you can tell me if I'm wrong because I don't know, but I don't think people usually do as many edits as me when it comes to stuff like this. Like when I do like quick hits, like yeah, those are more generic, random or whatever. I put those out because I know if I just did untimely reviews, there would be like 3 max a year. I know for a fact that's not good for like channel growth or just like building an audience. But for untimely reviews, I wanted them to be special. So I was like, oh, what if I just did like character bios? And they just turned into me making jokes about characters and how they like work in the story and also just their personalities. This Sonic one was just super annoying, as in like I'm trying to be annoying because I'm a Sonic fan. So I was just putting in every single thing I could think of. And that's even why I like this part, which I also really like. This edit was also really cool because this is the first time that I think I've done like an animation, which all I did was I took this dude. Look how many times I have to decompose. I took this dude. I don't even, okay, here he is. Actually, yeah. I don't even know what this stuff is. Oh, this is the card. Okay, yeah. So let's keep cutting him out because I don't remember what this video is called and I don't want to look it up. Oh my God, where did it go? Okay, let's go to books. Yeah, fuck books. So I just took this dude. Yeah, I know you should read, whatever, blah, 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 blah. This is funny. So I just cut him out and I was gonna have him cut out like, let me just mute this. I was gonna cut him out like this while he's walking. That was very difficult. So I was like, all right, what if I just like freeze frame him like, I guess like here? And then to get the movement, I just warped him a bunch. Like, and I warped it around the thing. Because it just reminds me of like old cartoons where stuff like that would happen. I know it took me like a couple hours to figure out what I wanted, and then I just looked up like 3 lines, I think, like, and then I just put those in there. Whatever, like that's not really that big a deal. Going back to like being overly like nitpicky on things, this line right here has bothered me for so long because I don't know, I just don't really like those sharp lines. And there's actually like a point in the video later that I had to figure out how to do that, like how to make it fade more in, but I don't know how to do that in DaVinci Resolve. Like these edits I think are funny in the moment, but I don't think that they're funny to like talk about or like that interesting to talk about. Like I'm just putting text and like making the background grayed out. Here we go. So for this background, you can see that it like fades into each other, right? Initially it looked like this, and I kind of liked it that it was like folding into each other, but this line was just not gonna work. Like I was just like, nah, it has to be more like faded in, because I'm pretty let me see yeah, so like I had made it in DaVinci Resolve, but this is the wrong thing. This I made in Photoshop because the fading just like it just looks better to me. So I had to figure out how to use Photoshop for that, and then I just grayed it out. Or not grayed it out, blurred it out. So the interesting thing about this video is I did a lot more rotoscoping like characters. So like with this one, you can see this actually, now that I'm looking at it again, this is not bad. Look at me. Because I just wanted it to be a little bit more dynamic with stuff like this. But again, I don't, like, to me, this is, if I can say the word for it, so like rotoscoping, if I know the word for it, I don't think it's that interesting. But if I'm like, I don't know what I did, but it looks cool, I really like it. So this is something that a friend of mine and I quote since like we first met, probably like in high school back in like 2012. I have no more to say about it. But what I do have to say is here's an example of like an edit that was not in the script at all and came about while I was editing the video. So when I like set this, when I wrote it and when I said it, I thought it was fine. But Ed and Lonely playing with himself, that's nuts. And like I didn't notice that at any time. And then while I'm like cutting everything, I was like, that's nuts. So I just added this into it. For me, a lot of the really funny things come during the edit and not like something that was completely scripted out. Just like this, if you've never seen the movie, you wouldn't have known that this wasn't like in the movie. But in the movie, it's just Sonic by himself, right? And he's just going around. But I thought that it looked better if he was like lapping himself. Like he was going so fast that he was leaving after images. That's just something that I did. And I'm kind of starting to do that a little bit more. Like if I get like an idea for a shot while I'm editing, I'll do it. But there's something about adding into the reviews where you're like, yeah, I'm putting in like just jokes or whatever, but I'm also trying to like make it just look a little bit better. Or maybe I shouldn't say better, but like more interesting to me at least. I think that's where I have a lot of fun with these types of videos. Obviously, because this was a Sonic video, I tried to use Sonic music as much as I possibly could. So that's why the music is different for like certain cards. But I think it's only Eggman and Sonic because they're the only actual Sonic characters. These are not going to be the edits I want to talk about because this is like, who cares? This is like a meme edit. Like there's two types of edits that I generally do. Meme edits, which is this, and like, I guess serious edits like the intro or this one that's coming up. But like these, I feel like aren't that interesting to talk about unless I was actually doing a tutorial to be like, oh, this is how you do it or whatever. So who cares? Okay, here we go. So this entire, how long is this? If we go from like 8:30 to 8:40, so 10 seconds. So this 10-second like I don't even know what you would call this. Not like a AMV or anything. I don't know. But like this 10-second whatever. This was not in the script, and this only happened because I rendered this out twice. That's crazy. This only happened because I had noticed in the script or while I'm editing, just because of how I put the clips, he like bopped, and I was like, oh, there's something there. That's hard. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. And from there, I was just like, okay, well, what if I just made like a real montage? Because in the movie, it's not presented like this. It's more just like, oh, we're having fun. Like it's not set to like a specific song or anything. I think. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie in months. And initially, this was actually gonna be, what song was? Oh, okay. It was actually gonna be like the version of Live and Learn, but from like the from the main menu. Like that was gonna be the thing or whatever. But because I realized that Shadow is eventually gonna be in a movie, I was like, let me save Live and Learn for when that happens. Which is why I didn't do it in here or the intro. And I decided on a song from Sonic Heroes instead. And my favorite part is the Timbaland thing because, again, I didn't have this in mind. I don't even remember what was happening. And I don't know why, but that is just so funny to see him do that. But the reason why this particular like 10-second thing was so difficult for me was because I had never like done anything with lighting before, and I tried Googling, which is never helps me out, like how to do it, like how to put lighting in a scene. And of course everything's gonna come out like, oh, well, you light the scene with real lights before you film it. I was like, that's not what I'm talking about. So I had to figure it out on my own, and I found out that one, I had to make this a 3D, like I had to put a 2D image on a 3D plane so it looks like this, which if you don't know what you're doing the first time, it looks mad scary. And he's like, bro, I don't know what this is. So I had to do this. I had to light it with ambient light, which I didn't realize for like a day and a half, because if you don't light it with ambient light, it's just always gonna be black. So I'm like, I'm putting the camera and the light in. Why is the light not showing up? But you have to do it like this. So what I wanted to do was I wanted obviously the light to like shine on them. Like I don't know if they only do that for like, I don't know, country dancing or whatever this is, but like, you know, like when you've seen in a movie how like they'll put like everything else will be dark and they'll put the light on them. That's what I wanted to like recreate. So that's why it's like different colors. And the reason why it's blue, red, and yellow is because of Sonic Heroes. And since I was doing the song, I was like, oh, it's a perfect match. I do wish for this that like I could have got detail in Tom's face, but the issue is this is like a filter, and like the filter just, let me stop because I think this is gonna crash. Okay, so we're not gonna go into more detail about what was going on here, but we can talk about, like, these are obviously supposed to be pictures. This part I do wish could have been a little bit better, but I don't know how to color grade, so especially with the red, I don't like how it's bleeding onto his fingers. The blue, where is it? Okay, it's like the blue isn't that bad, but that's because he's already blue, so it doesn't hurt, like bleed out as much, I guess. But red and yellow, just, I don't know. We'll figure it out eventually. This one I really liked just because, again, I cut him out, flipped him, and then changed the colors flashing in the background. I really like that. And then the fade out is just a fade out, whatever. But yeah, this is probably my favorite part of the video, actually, like this 10-second little spurt, because it's just silly, and I just like making little silly edits. I think that's funny. After that one though, like everything else is more just, oh well, no, I really like this part that I did where it like the background changes color, but like the ring and everything in the ring doesn't. It just looks cool to me. Oh, you know what's crazy? Because I cut all this up, it's making it, yeah, okay, well, we're not gonna go back to fix that. Oh, for this, so like there's a lot of, I actually have a folder on my laptop which I do the recordings on. I don't record on like this mic or this setup, but I have a folder that just has like these, like me just going off script and riffing, because initially like 2 years ago I was like, oh, I can make a video of this, but then I realized nobody's gonna watch that, so I just have them for me. And I think this is like the first time I've ever included one of these, because I genuinely thought that this was really funny. Okay, hopefully it's in this one so that I don't keep sounding stupid when I'm like, oh, it's so difficult, you gotta do so much. Oh yeah, as you can see, when I get really like upset that I have to keep doing things, I'll just barely even try to spell. Here we go. Okay, thank the Lord. Okay, let me take the paint off and then see if there's any in this clip. There are not. Okay, but as you can see, I have to paint because there will be times. Let me actually just do this whole thing. There will be times where, oh my goodness, I have to.
2 very boring minutes later.
Okay, whatever. You see that I put it in there, right? Okay, so I had to do it for certain parts. I just don't know which parts. And then since we're like near the end of the movie, this is where like the actual review starts. This part, I like what I tried to do, but it did not come out how I would have liked. And I don't know how I could go about fixing it. That would probably be like hours and hours of time that I don't need to spend, but it is what it is. But yeah, once we get into like the legitimate review part of the videos, it's not like, oh my God, let me recreate something that I've seen before in this meme edit or whatever. I guess for scripting, because I didn't really talk about how I go about it. I write this script as I watch the movie. So like if a movie is like 2 hours it'll actually take me like 4 hours to get through it because I'm writing notes, writing jokes that I think might be funny. And that's also why if you watch the videos, which you should, there's a lot of times where I'll be like, oh, this character is probably going to be this character and they're going to turn on this character or whatever. It's not because I've seen the movie. I'm literally just thinking that. And if I think it's funny, I'll keep it in the script. The Sonic 2 Untimely review, literally have no idea when that's coming out. I have a bunch of like shorter videos that I've been trying to work on getting out that don't require me to edit these 20-minute, like really edit heavy in like the first 8 minutes. When I make videos, essentially the first, if it's like 20 minutes, then the first 8 to 10 minutes are crazy edits. And then after that, I'm like, all right, if I got you this far, hopefully you're cool with just seeing some stuff on screen and not me doing stuff that I have really no business doing because I don't know what I'm doing. The next Untimely review isn't even going to be Sonic. It's going to be Hoodwinked. So that's why there's a little teaser. I guess the last thing that I'll say is like when I put these in there, a lot of these are things that I just already have like on my, either on my phone that I've like put on my computer to use, or they'll think that they're like, I'll go on like Giphy and look up like emotions and be like, what's a good gif of this emotion? And then I'll just put it in there. But that's really it. So yeah, that's how I make videos. If you want me to do this again, it'll be the Grinch video. But that one, the main thing about that video is like the filming it. Just because, again, I'm not used to filming it. I don't know how you're supposed to light things. How are you supposed to like, I don't know, what does ISO even mean? I can still talk about it because there's still some things where like the intro for that one, for example, that one was just time consuming, but it wasn't like difficult really. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you want me to do it again, put it in the comments below if you've been here this long. And thanks for watching.